Good evening. My name is Mats. I'm the CEO of Circle 2 Labs, and I'll be taking you through the pre-release information prior to the release of PassionEye into early access. I ask that everyone wait till the end of the presentation with any questions that may arise, and I do apologize for a slightly more corporate feel of the presentation as compared to earlier stages. Let's start by taking a look at our labels. These are descriptive of what you may expect from any given game we release going forward. First, we have the white label. These are games that are simple in nature, kind of like visual novels, clickers, relatively mechanically simple games. Moving on to pink label. These are games that focus primarily on interpersonal stuff like romance, close relationships, so more story-heavy stuff. Moving on then to the silver label. These are games that are designed primarily with gameplay in mind, but they lack advanced features, stuff like in-depth character creator, studio, and other similar advanced features. Moving on then to the gold label. This is what we consider our premium label, pretty much the same as the silver one. It focuses primarily on gameplay, but in addition also has more advanced features like character creator and studio. Moving on then to the gray label. And these are games that will require some content warnings beside the adult content. This might be drugs, organized crime, light violence, stuff like that. It is, however, not super dark, and that's reserved for the final label. The black label. That's reserved for content with a darker tone. We expect that some of you might find the content contained within this label to be either highly unpleasant or maybe even objectionable. Okay then. Below is part of our evil master plan. All of you should, at this point in time, be aware of Project Dia, the underlying modding system we've implemented into PassionEye that we hope will form the basis for many more games to come. And of course, Project Alice, now better known as PassionEye. Today, we'll start by looking beyond PassionEye, though not by a whole lot. We're going to be talking a little bit about Project Hima, a hitherto unannounced game. Now then, Project Hima. Why exactly are we announcing a new game at this point in time? I mean, it's prior to PassionEye even being available for sale. Well, it's quite simple. While the story beats have been roughly laid out for PassionEye for a while now, we recently started fleshing out the story a good bit. In doing so, we found ourselves quite creatively limited by the wish to make a game that will be palatable to as many of you as possible. To the point where we started making major controversies to avoid elements such as organized crime, corruption, drugs, and what have you. After calling this out internally, we decided that it was better to change the target and offer ourselves some more creative wiggle room than we initially were. That leaves out those of you that do not like darker themes in these kinds of games though. So, we decided to up and split the game. Towards the end of early access for PassionEye, we will fork PassionEye into 2 games. One will have a story that is less reliant on conspiracy and intrigue, so will be more palatable to more of you, while the other will let the story go where it needs to go, to reach the high-level checkpoints and end states we wish to reach. Of course, since it's an offshoot of PassionEye, cards and scenes made with one can be used interchangeably with the other. So it shouldn't really matter which game you're playing, you should be able to engage with all user-created content. Additionally, everyone that owns PassionEye at the end of the early access period will automatically get Project Hima in their Steam libraries, after which the game will be sold standalone for anyone else that wishes to acquire the other game. More details on this will of course follow towards the end of early access for PassionEye. Oh, and one more thing. Sorry, I just always wanted to say that. So, Steam has now approved PassionEye for early access release. We've decided on May 17th at 6 p.m. as the release time for the game. May 17th is, as some of you may know, the Norwegian Constitution Day. So let's all give a hearty gratulerer med dagen, Norge, or happy birthday, Norway, as we go live. And that concludes everything we've prepared for this stage. I thank you all for attending and listening, and I now invite you all to submit any questions you might have.